Okay, let's dive into this. You know that feeling, right? You've got this huge, super important thing you need to do, but you find yourself doing literally anything else. Suddenly, reorganizing your sock drawer seems like the most urgent task in the world. You feel that guilt creeping in, but you just can't start? Well, it turns out there's a fascinating scientific reason for all of that. I mean, it's a struggle we all face. The deadline is getting closer and closer. You know the work actually matters, but you're just stuck. It's so frustrating. You start asking yourself, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just get this done? But the answer isn't what you think. And this, right here, is the absolute key. Procrastination isn't some moral failing. It's not a character flaw. You're not lazy. What's happening is purely biological. It's your brain just being a brain. In fact, it's basically a fight going on inside your head. So to really understand why we procrastinate, we have to go inside the brain, where there are two very different systems constantly battling for control over every single thing you do. Think of it like this. On one side, you have your ancient emotional limbic system. It's kind of like a toddler. It doesn't care about the future, it only cares about feeling good right now. On the other side, you have the adult in the room, the modern, logical prefrontal cortex. That's the part that handles planning and long-term goals. So when you sit down to do a tough project, your emotional toddler brain throws a tantrum and wants an easy reward, while your logical adult brain knows you need to work. And, well, you can guess which one often wins that argument. Yeah, see, that emotional brain has a secret weapon, and its name is dopamine. Every time you check a notification, scroll your feed, or watch a quick, funny video, your brain gets a tiny little hit of this reward chemical. It's a quick fix that feels good, and it makes those distractions scientifically, chemically more appealing than buckling down on that hard project. It literally hijacks your motivation. And get this, the fight is often rigged from the start. Simple, everyday stuff like being tired, super stressed out, or even just hungry. All of those things weaken your logical prefrontal cortex. It's like sending your brain's CEO into a big meeting without any coffee. It makes it so much harder to resist the pull of that emotional brain screaming for an easy dopamine hit. Okay, so we've got this battle for control. But what's the deep psychological reason we keep pushing things off? Turns out, our brain has this built-in bias that makes later seem like a fantastic idea. It's a concept called time inconsistency. Basically, our brains are hardwired to care way more about the present you than the future you. We genuinely see our future self as a totally different person, someone who's going to be more disciplined, more energetic, and totally ready to tackle that task we're avoiding. We're essentially passing the buck to a complete stranger who just happens to be us in a week. And this creates a really vicious and honestly dangerous cycle. We put the task off, right? Then, as the deadline gets terrifyingly close, panic sets in. Stress hormones like adrenaline flood our system, forcing us into a frantic rush of work. We somehow manage to finish it just in the nick of time. And what does our brain learn from all this? It learns that procrastinating worked. It completely forgets the week of stress and anxiety and just logs it as a successful strategy. Hey, it says, that worked out fine. Let's do it again next time. Now, this ancient brain wiring was already a challenge back in the day, but in our modern world, it's being exploited on a massive scale, which has turned the fight for our own attention into a completely unfair battle. I absolutely love this quote because it just nails our reality. Our phones, our social media feeds, the endless notifications, they are all designed exactly like a casino slot machine. They're built to give us tiny, unpredictable rewards that keep our emotional brain hooked, pulling that lever over and over again. Think about it. For our ancestors, noticing something new in the environment could mean the difference between finding food or becoming food. It was a survival instinct. Well, today, those same deep-rooted instincts are being hijacked. Modern algorithms are specifically engineered to trigger that novelty-seeking part of our brain, feeding it an endless, irresistible stream of new content that our primitive wiring just can't ignore. All right, so it kind of sounds like we're doomed, doesn't it? Like our brains are completely rigged against us. But they're not, and this is the good part. Now that we actually understand the science, we can start using it to our advantage. We can use practical strategies that are designed to help our logical brain finally win this fight. The great news is we can fight back using science. For instance, try the 2-minute rule. Just commit to working on something for 2 minutes. That's it. This lowers the intimidation factor for your emotional brain, making it easier to just start. Or you can physically remove distractions. Put your phone in another room. Seriously. This eliminates the cheap dopamine competition. You can also create your own deadlines to hack that urgency system we talked about, tricking your brain into action earlier. And finally, use small rewards to start training your brain to associate doing focused work with a positive feeling. And this is really the whole game. Beating procrastination isn't about finding more willpower or just trying to force yourself to do things. It's about understanding your brain's ancient programming and then designing an environment that makes it easier for your logical side to win. It's about strategy, not brute force. So that's the real question to walk away with. This isn't about becoming a productivity superhero overnight. It's about making small, smart changes to your space and your habits that give your prefrontal cortex, your inner CEO, the fighting chance it deserves. So what's one small thing you can do today?